Hello everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel. Watch my video and subscribe my channel. When Luna awakens, Lee must make the impossible decision to either save the murderer or pursue justice for her victims. Luna's coma is coming to an end, and Lee must decide whether to give in or protect the niece who killed two people. A startling conclusion is revealed in B&B spoilers. B&B spoilers. Luna wakes and Lee has to choose between seeking justice for her victims or saving the killer. B&B aficionados, hold on to your stethoscopes because Dr. Lee Finnegan is sitting on a powder keg that is going to blast the whole Finnegan family to pieces. Lee Finnegan's secret ICU is about to explode. The reality is far more perverse. Even if everyone in Los Angeles believes Luna Nozawa is dead. Tucked away in Lee's flat that has been converted into an intensive care unit, the murdering fashionista is still very much alive, and the worst part is that she is set to emerge from her coma. Shall we review the carnage? It wasn't simply a rough day for Luna. Sheila Carter would have been proud of this girl's murderous rampage. Perhaps it runs in the family, given that Sheila is her biological grandmother. She shot Liam Spencer, abducted Steffi Forrester, killed Tom Starr and Hollis, and even set up her own mother, Poppy, to do the killings. That's a horror film, not a rap sheet. The Finn 2.0 deception, however, this is where things start to get interesting. Lee had previously pulled this exact same scam. Do you recall when Sheila shot Finn and she concealed him? She has gone and done it once more, setting up her own private intensive care unit to treat Luna while informing everyone, including her own son, that the girl has passed away. An example of déjà vu with a lethal twist. Social media is buzzing with the million-dollar question. What will he do when Luna's eyes open? Will she keep shielding this murderer, or will she come to the realization that she is harboring a monster that killed two innocent people? The drink that makes this whole thing even more messy is sister rivalry gone nuclear. Lee is not acting in this way out of some misplaced anti-pity. Oh no. Her long-running conflict with her sister Poppy is the main focus of this. Lee's announcement of Luna's death caused Poppy to react with relief. Is it possible? Is a mother delighted that her daughter has passed away? That gave Lee a competitive fire that might destroy the entire city of Los Angeles. Lee has always accused Poppy of being a bad mother, and now she's attempting to show that she can mending what Poppy did wrong. You can't repair someone who shoots people and accuses their own mother of murder. Though, let's face it, this is a broken soul with a body count, not a broken nail. The Sheila factor in relation to wounded hearts. Let us discuss the unspoken issue, or perhaps more accurately, the family psychopath. Luna is not a mindless murderer. Sheila Carter is Finn's grandmother because she is her biological daughter. Yes, that's Sheila, the person who has plagued our community for many years. Did Luna become a killer because of her upbringing or because of her genes? Lee is placing all of her money on nurture because she is certain that she can help her niece get better. What occurs, though, when those Carter genes take over? When Luna awakens and reveals that she is more like her grandmother than anyone wants to acknowledge, what will happen? Will Bill Spencer save the day? Bill Spencer is going to get involved in this disaster if the rumors are to be believed, which head writer Bradley Bell has already suggested. It seems that Dollar Bill wants to assist Luna since he recognizes himself in her difficult history. Because assisting a double murderer in evading prosecution is the epitome of good judgment, isn't it? This implies that Bill's billions could intervene to save the day even if Lee changes his mind and turns Luna in. Better still, let's save the murderer. In any case, it doesn't appear that Luna will be going to jail anytime soon. The repercussions will be epic. Let's consider what will happen if this secret blows up, which it will blow up. Finn will learn that his mother has been concealing his daughter's homicidal behavior. Steffi will learn that the lady who attempted to kill her was shielded by her mother-in-law. This betrayal could end the Finnegan marriage. What about Taylor and Ridge? When they find out that Lee decided to shield their daughter's potential killer, how will they respond? This will rock the entire canvas. It's not just about one family. The ultimate question, knowing that Lee is at a crossroads where she must make the most important decision of her life. We wait for Luna to open her eyes. Will she carry on in this dishonest manner, shielding a murderer from the repercussions of her actions? Or will she at last realize that Luna is a dangerous criminal who must be held accountable? For now, I'm investing in protection. Lee is currently too embroiled in her rivalry with Poppy to give up. But believe me when I say that Lee will recognize the monster she has been fostering when Luna reveals her true nature, which she will. Will it be too late? That is the question. There is little doubt that the Finnegan family will never be the same after this bomb goes off. And truthfully, perhaps it's time for some true accountability after all the mayhem Luna has caused. However, this is a soap opera, and when billions of dollars and family conflicts are at stake, murderers almost never face consequences for their actions. Finn makes Grace tell the truth about Liam's brain cancer. The Bold and the Beautiful, BNB, spoilers preview video for the week of August 4th to 8th suggests that Grace Buckingham, Cassandra Creech, will be forced to come clean by John Finnegan, Tanner Novlin, exposing Liam Spencer's, Scott Clifton, truth about brain cancer. Grace tells Finn that they can keep this between them as the weekly promo for BNB begins. By then, Finn will presumably be aware of the truth, so he will be horrified when Grace asks him to act as her go-between. That won't work for Finn, who will force Grace to accompany him to the Spencer estate so she can tell Liam everything. When Finn arrives with Grace and forces her to tell Liam the truth about his brain cancer, Hope Logan, Annika Noel, will also be present. Grace is expected to reveal that she faked Liam's tumor in order to defraud Don Diamond's character, Bill Spencer, of $1 million. If Grace was facing severe danger and a mound of debt, she might have justified her actions. But what she did to Liam and his loved ones was still terrible. Luna Nozoa, Lisa Yamada, who is unconscious, will be urged to stay awake by Lee Finnegan, Naomi Matsuda. Lee will swear she won't let this be the last of her as she keeps an eye on Luna. Ridge Forrester, Torsten Kay, will receive updates from Eric Forrester, John McCook, in Italy regarding the ring he's seen Nick Marone, Jack Wagner, clutching. Ridge will rush to locate Brooke Logan, Catherine Kelly Lang, and end this engagement as Eric breaks the impending proposal news. Brooke will find herself in a vulnerable situation on the back of Nick's boat. Brooke appears ready to plunge into the water and begin flailing around because Nick appears to be going to be a bit careless while piloting it. Logan, just before catastrophe occurs, Ridge yells when he sees Brooke in the weekly preview video. Soon enough, B&B fans will witness Ridge transform into a hero and go all out for Brooke. When secrets have the potential to blow up entire families, Los Angeles never sleeps. At the moment, Dr. Lee Finnegan is living on borrowed time in a ticking time bomb that she designed herself, one that is set to detonate in a way that will be magnificent, soul-shattering, and torching her legacy. The typically calm, clinically detached doctor has transformed her apartment in the heart of the city into a gruesome haven of secrets, converting it into a private, intensive care unit for her most serious patient to date, her niece Luna Nozawa, the woman that everyone assumes is dead, not just tragically dead, but notoriously, criminally, irredeemably dead. After going on a spree that left 2 people dead, 1 shot and hospitalized, another traumatized, a family irreparably broken, and reputations in ruins, the city believes the woman perished. The woman who, just before she collapsed, sank into a coma so deep that it became Lee's pretext to take over, to fix her, to redeem her, to control the story the way she's always longed to control her sister Poppy's chaotic world, rather than pleading for forgiveness or expressing regret. However, Lee finds herself in the center of a moral maelstrom as Luna's fingers twitch and her eyes flicker in the sterile darkness of her flat that has been transformed into a Franken hospital. Will she turn Luna over to the police and pursue justice for the innocent lives she took, such as Hollis, the endearing bartender whose only transgression was serving Steffi a martini on the wrong night, and Tom Starr, the quiet music producer who once serenaded Hope Logan on the rooftop of Aiel Giardino? Or will she decide to shield a murderer, her own blood, a girl whose genes directly trace back to Sheila Carter herself? Not to mention the bullet that went into Liam Spencer, a guy already dealing with a false diagnosis of brain cancer, over Grace Buckingham's masterminding of a multi-million-dollar swindle that was so convoluted that it made Reese Buckingham appear like a small-time con artist. Even if Grace's transgressions are heinous, they pale in comparison to what Luna is accused of, and even less so than Lee's own foolishness, as she has pulled the stunt previously and seems to have learnt all the wrong lessons. Although Lee's choice to conceal Finn after Sheila shot him was already debatable, some would contend that it was a mother instinct. This time, this is retaliation, not maternal love. It's a psychological battle between sisters, a nuclear-fueled personal grudge. Something broke inside Lee when Poppy wept with relief rather than grief after Lee pronounced Luna dead. She regarded it as evidence that Poppy is an inherently inadequate mother, a woman so distorted by her own selfishness and humiliation that she saw her daughter's purported death as a way out. Lee then declared war, not with words or fists, but with 4 drips and a stethoscope, surrounded Luna's comatose body with oxygen tanks and hushed assurances. She vowed to succeed where Poppy failed, to achieve what her sister was never able to do, rescue Luna, restore Luna, and mend the shattered legacy that extends back to Sheila Carter as well as Poppy. However, Lee is unaware, or perhaps she is unwilling to acknowledge, that evil cannot be fixed. A psychopath cannot be made sweet by shock therapy or intubation. Luna didn't simply lose it. She lost it badly. She used her intelligence, beauty, and familial ties as weapons, controlling everyone from Steffi to Bill Spencer, from Finn to Hope. Speaking of Bill, there are rumors that the tycoon is going to be Lee's biggest challenge. In the BNB writer's room and on social media, rumors circulate that Bill sees himself in Luna's lost, irate soul. Worse, he's prepared to finance her future if it keeps her out of jail. This might be disastrous for Lee, who might at last develop a conscience and try to turn Luna over to the police, only to be stopped by Bill's wealth, legal clout, and unresolved guilt about not shielding Liam from people like Grace Buckingham. Not to mention the romantic fallout, as if that weren't already difficult enough. Sheila had previously helped Steffi Forrester survive one massacre. Will she be able to accept the fact that her own mother-in-law shielded the shooter's granddaughter? Can she forgive Finn for trying to ruin her life as the biological father of a woman? What about Hope, who is just now getting over Liam's near-death experience and her failed engagement to Carter? Will she discover that Liam's true medical emergency was not cancer, but rather surviving a gunshot wound from the woman who used to watch Kelly and Beth? In a community where people fall in and out of love more quickly than the elevator at Forrester Creations, the ripple effect of Luna's awakening has the potential to destroy every remaining relationship between Forrester, Logan, Spencer, and Finnegan. Finn will be forced to choose between the wife whose life was almost taken by the daughter he never even knew he had and the mother who twice saved his life, as he finds himself in a conflict between biology and morality. Lee, who once called Sheila a monster, is now walking the same tightrope and defending her actions with the same terrifying reasoning that Sheila once employed. She's my child. I have to protect her. But is Lee defending Luna, or is she defending her ego, her pride, or her grudge against Poppy? The irony here is rich. Even she may not be able to answer that question. If there wasn't enough upheaval for a week in Los Angeles, Ridge is going to hear from Eric that Nick Marone intends to pop the question to Brooke in Italy. This is a whole new bombshell that will go off right before Ridge serves as lifeguard during a boating accident that almost kills Brooke. However, compared to the moral judgment taking place in Lee's living room, where the distinction between salvation and damnation is becoming increasingly blurred, even that controversy, with all its love, turmoil, and jet-set splendor, seems insignificant. Lee will have to choose between saving the murderer and risking losing everything and everyone, or finally realizing that sometimes the most merciful thing you can do is let the devil pay her dues. This is as Grace Buckingham gets ready to tell Liam and Bill everything, Hope is ready to pick up the pieces, and Steffi and Ridge are ready to defend their own with anger and legal firepower. And will Luna murmur words of regret, or just beg her aunt for the next escape plan? When she opens her eyes and the smiling child who killed finally speaks again, Los Angeles had better buckle up in any case, because the consequences will be biblical, the betrayals irreversible, and the families permanently altered when this truth eventually pierces the sterile silence of Lee's intensive care unit. Even if justice is blind, there is never a long period of silence in this town. Katie interrupts to poke fun at Taylor after Eric shares something startling about Nick. Nick recalls their first encounter in Italy, where he smoked a cigar in front of Brooke. At the time, he introduced himself as Captain Nick Payne. He remembers how they became friends, and sighs as he looks out at the lake. Additional flashbacks occur as Brooke recalls complaining to Ridge about their separation the previous day while she was in her suite. Brooke, Ridge, B&B in a different suite. Eric informs Ridge that Nick won't tolerate no, and that time is of the importance. Brooke is his true love, even though he knows he wants to keep his promise to Taylor. Ridge tries to convince himself that Brooke is self-sufficient and won't be duped by Marone's foolishness. More. After Amber and Deacon reconcile, Eric tells his son that Taylor is secure and reliable, while Brooke makes your heart race. Taylor is wearing a bright pink button-down and puffy vest. Ridge, fortunately, stops him from going that route. Unfazed, Eric requests that Ridge stop punishing Logan for taking the CEO position. He overreacted and needs to do something about it. Because Brooke is wearing earphones, she cannot hear Eric, Ridge, B&B, Ridge, knocking on the door of her suite. He gives up. Nick carefully pulls out a ring box on the dock and examines the engagement diamond inside as Eric arrives. When the Forester finds out that Nick plans to pop the question to Brooke without even dating, his jaw drops. More. With Luna alive, what happens next? While Brooke is in her suite reading a sweet text from Nick, an agitated Eric knocks on the door and says he's looking for Ridge. When she rambles on about Naples, Eric gets right to the point and warns her not to let Nick take advantage of her vulnerability. Don't give in to Nick, he hurriedly pleads. That's who she's going to meet, replies Brooke, leaving him standing alone in her room. Will Brooke, Eric, B&B, and Finn break Grace? In the hospital in Los Angeles, Finn and Bridget discuss Liam's questionable surgery. He is more determined than ever to talk to Grace Buckingham. Once again, they examine the situation and conclude that something is wrong. Finn, Bridget, B&B Finn, and Bridget are repeating themselves until Grace shows up. Finn puts on his scariest hat and asks her about Liam Spencer's miraculous recovery. Grace responds that they'll just have to trust her and walks away rather than face the large inquisition. More. Will the light reach Taylor? Liam's tale is about to take a terrible turn. While on vacation from her public relations job, Katie teases Taylor about Ridge's connection with Brooke at the Forester Mansion in Italy. As anticipated, everything goes smoothly, and they begin discussing whether Brooke should be with Ridge or Nick right away. It is betraying for Katie to say that Eric wants a son with Brooke, because she hasn't learned anything from her past experiences. Taylor is positive that Brooke will get engaged to Nick again, and that Eric will fail if he tries anything in Italy. Katie teases, "You're quite the optimist." Who will attend Taylor B&B? Taylor is doubling down. As Brooke waits for Nick in Italy, thinking about Ridge the whole time, we're treated to yet another set of memories, including the often reenacted Keyhole reunion in Rome. Suddenly, Ridge shows up and taps her shoulder. Brooke is blind because of this. Many fans are baffled as to why Brooke Logan seems so unaffected by this one issue, based on teasers for The Bold and the Beautiful. This is because, in spite of the fact that Ridge Forrester has said some of the most hurtful things about her daughter Hope Logan, she still pursues him. This is the reason Brooke is blind. Let's not forget that Ridge called Hope a slut, among other things. In addition, instead of dumping Ridge, Brooke keeps looking for him and lusting for him. Have you ever defended your daughter before? Where is this woman's morality? Better yet, is she not in love with Hope at all? Online BNB lovers, of course, had a lot to say about the problem. They have turned almost every character to a story point for Steffi or Ridge. Some even commented, "I like Brooke, but I can't support her and Ridge. He deserves to be left alone since he is a POS." She must be the one to state that they will not be reuniting. What is there to celebrate in this circumstance? Is the daughter of Brooke unloved? All right, another show critic wrote, especially in light of the really difficult background his own children have endured. I hope Hope confronts Ridge about his disparaging statements about her and tells him to stop, especially in front of Deacon, because you don't see Brooke calling his kids names. Another comment read, "I wish Brooke and Taylor would give up on him." It isn't helping that for months and months since Brooke doesn't care and keeps wanting Ridge, even though he basically cheated on her with Taylor again. Nevertheless, BNB fans will simply have to watch every day to find out what happens next. He has been jumping between them for decades. The Bold and the Beautiful airs on the CBS network during the week. Check your local listings for the times. Eric's anger, Nick's boat offering, and Ridge's bold move. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers for Friday, August 1st, 2025 are revealed. Fans may expect Jack Wagner's character Nick Marone to set up a boat proposal. However, when Brooke Logan, Catherine Kelly Lang, fell into the ocean, Ridge Forrester, Torsten Kay, would try a daring rescue. Let's talk about what will occur in the next episode of it.